Now, Christy, let's talk about The Voice. Anthony Albanese has really stepped up the blame game. He's essentially saying now that if you vote no, you'll embarrass us on the global stage. Here's what he said today.
It would send a bad message reconciliation, but it would also send a bad message in the way that Australia is perceived internationally. This is an opportunity to unite the nation, a chance to move Australia forward together, to show that we're a mature nation.
Well, I mean, at best he sounds like a toddler who's trying to get his way, and I suppose you could argue at worst it's bullying. What do you think, Christy?
I think Labor is trying to, you're correct, is trying to bully Australians by using highly emotive language and using the referendum on The Voice as a catch-all to move people into two camps, supporters of reconciliation and non-supporters of reconciliation. If you are not a supporter of The Voice, and let's face it, at the moment it's a thought bubble, it is no detail, no objective proposal to the Australian people in terms of how it is going to impact legislation in Australia by a group of unelected people appointed by the government or by Indigenous Australia. That's fine, but that is the real fact of the issue, and working very, very hard through use of emotive language to move people into two camps ignores the fact that there are a great many of Australians in Australia who are supporters of reconciliation, who work hard to close the gap, who are asking the government questions as to what framework the referendum options are going to be in before they vote for it. The attack on Peter Dutton for doing what he is supposed to do, which is to hold the government to account and ensure Australians get answers to questions on what they're expected to vote for, is very, very, very poor form by Labor. And guess what? Governing's hard, isn't it? You have to answer questions, particularly when you're seeking to change the Constitution. Someone needs to ask them.
Exactly. I mean, and Graham Richardson on Sky last night said he didn't support The Voice. I mean, is Albanese potentially alienating traditional Labor voters, Sophie, with this racial identity politics?
I think what he's saying at the moment basically can be interpreted as, if you support The Voice, as Christy said, you're all for reconciliation, and if you don't, you're against it. It's pretty simple. And I think voters are being treated like fools. They don't really understand what this is, and they're just meant to go along with the whole vibe of the thing. And I think if Labor is going to go down that road, it's a dangerous road, and I don't think it will get through. I think there's a lot of people who are sceptical about this, and a lot of people who have absolutely no idea what it means, and others thinking this is just another layer of bureaucracy that Australians do not need. How is this going to help Indigenous Australians in communities, Caleb, that I will say I bet a lot of Australians have never even stepped foot into and would have no clue what's going out there? It's not just about these voters in Fitzroy or Newtown or these yuppie suburbs in suburbia. This is about people out in real Australia that are facing serious issues, and what is The Voice going to do for them? And I think that's what a lot of people still don't know, Caleb.
Exactly, and we've yet to hear anything about anything that will do anything practical for anyone. And we just get stuck on this merry-go-round of nice fuzzy things that feel nice but don't actually achieve anything. Christy, Sophie, thank you for joining me tonight.